Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
What day is today?
Friday.
Is that your favorite day of the week?
Yes.
It's mine too. Tomorrow's your favorite day. I like Friday because it makes me think about Saturday. So we're going to take just a little bit of time this morning and share some things around banking and budgeting and some interesting stuff that would be good for you guys to learn. So before we do that, I'm going to introduce myself. Does that sound pretty good?
Yeah.
All right. So my name's Kevin Berry again. I work for Wells Fargo Bank, and I work here in the greater Sacramento area. So I cover a large area of Sacramento and the surrounding area of Sacramento. So who knows what an ATM machine is? All right. So when you go to the ATM machine, that's usually attached to a building, and inside the building you have all the bankers in there. So all those people in those banks, they report to me and they take care of our customers, including probably a lot of you. Did anybody in here bank with Wells Fargo? Look at that. All right. This is a great class. Exciting. So Moy, why don't you introduce yourself?
My name's Moy. I actually work for Kevin, and I help him support him in his role so he can do whatever he needs to do. So I'm like his sidekick.
Everybody likes a sidekick, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go through a couple different slides. We're going to show you a little bit about what we do in a bank and really more importantly, how to budget and how to manage money. Does everyone know what money is? Does everyone know what a credit card is too? Everyone know what like spending money feels like? All right, everyone likes money in here. Good. So here's the things we're going to cover today. We're going to cover understanding the differences between a need and a want, and we'll talk about that in a second. We're going to come a little bit familiar with how to budget. So how do you to budget your money on how much money you have and how much you should spend in a month. And then we're going to talk a little bit about how to save and what the importance of saving. And then we're going to do a little exercise to see if you guys are quick learners. And I guess, from what I understand, especially the Niner fans, we probably have a lot of quick learners in here. That sound good?
Yeah.
All right. And I'm not sure, is there a clicker for the computer, or do you know?
Yeah, there's a couple things up there.
All right. Yeah, I gave those a shot. That wasn't working so well for me. So we'll try it this way. All right. So who can tell me what they think the difference is between a need and a want? Boy, a lot of hands went up first. So I saw yours first. What's your name?
Krissa?
Carissa. Nice to meet you. So what do you think the difference is between a need and a want?
You need the money to like say to support your family, but once you don't need it at that time.
Right. So that's very good, Carissa. So a need is something that you really have to keep maybe paying the bills to keep your lights on, or food on the table, things like that. And a want might be a little bit different from that. It might be something you don't really need to survive, but it's something that you really want to have. So there's a little bit more information going to pop up here for you. So here you go. So you wanted to buy something, you didn't have enough money. So again, why don't we just share in groups? So can everyone just pair up and just share with each other what you think is a need and a want? So what happens when you spend all your money on the things that you want?
You won't have enough money for the things you need.
Exactly. So that's why it's very important for us to ensure that we're watching how we spend our money, because if we spend all our money on things that we just want, like Xbox games or those hot spicy Cheetos, then you're not going to have the things to put a roof over your head or food on your table. So it's really important for us to budget our money and how that comes in. So up here on the screen you'll see some examples, and I know I heard the iPad and iPod are different things that you might want, and then needs are definitely things that can ensure that you have food on your table, clothing, warmth, and all those other things important to sustain our lives. All right, so it's important to really think about how we budget our money. So we're going to go through here an exercise in a second about how to budget money, and then when you want something, what do you need to do? If you really want something, yes, you got to save your money. So we're going to take a look on how we save our money too, so that we can get that money all ready to go for that iPad or those hot spicy Cheetos or whatever they're called. So it's important for us to think about saving for those fun things, those important things that we want in our lives. So we're going to practice here. So Moy's going to hand out a document here for you, a worksheet. And why don't we work individually first, and then we'll work in pairs. But you can see on the screen what we'll do is we'll have you put in an allowance, or say the money that you get, and then we're going to take a look at some of the things you want to spend, and then we're going to do the math down there. Does that sound good? All right, so we're going to look at the example, and you guys have it on your worksheet there. And then if everyone's got a pencil too? All right. So when you look at the spreadsheet here, what's another word for allowance? Yes. It's okay, I'm going to come back to you. You, back there, what's your name? Nice to meet you. Yes. So another word for allowance is income. And income means money that's coming in. So what are ways that you earn an income? Yeah. Working. So having a job that somebody pays you money for, and that's money that you earn. So that's income that you receive. So what would snacks be? Is that a need or a want? Yes. Yes, so it's food. So that's food to make sure that we're healthy. So what would be entertainment? What would that be, a need or a want? Yes? That's a want. All right. So in this example here, you can see that our monthly allowance or our income was $10, right? So we have $10 that is available that we could spend. But we know we have some needs here that cost $2. So if we take $2 from our income, that leaves us with $8, right?
Yeah.
So then we decide we want to buy a really inexpensive iPad, or no, we'll do the hot spicy Cheetos, and they cost $5. So this is your want, right? So what does this leave us? $3. And what's the $3 then? Is that money that we saved, or is that money that is spent already? Yes. Spent? What's another answer that could be? Yes. Saved. So this is money that you saved. So you didn't spend all of the money that you earned or that you received from your allowance. So does that make sense? Yeah. All right. So what if we practice one individually? Does that sound good? Yes. All right, so why don't we go over the answers? Does that sound good? Yes. All right, so who thinks they have the answer to number 1? All right, right here. What's your name? Danielle? Lelena. Nice to meet you. So what's the answer you have? 7 weeks. Who else has 7 weeks? All right, so the answer is 7 weeks. So who can explain to me how they got to 7 weeks? Counting by 3. So exactly right. So if you save $3 every week, it would take 7 weeks to save up $20. So number 2 is a little bit more difficult, right? So no, you got that one nailed? All right. So who has, go ahead. Can't do it?
I can't do it.
Okay. Who else has another answer? Back in the back there. $4.50? Okay. $5? All right. So I think they're all good answers because it was a tough question. So I'm going to go over it with you together, okay? So in the scenario, it says that we're not going to spend money on snacks, right? But we're going to move that money into our entertainment. And entertainment is the money you're saving up to go to the movies. So if we moved the $2 into our budget that we already set aside $5, so what's 2 plus 5? 7. So is $7 enough to buy that movie ticket? Yes. So we do have enough money to buy that movie ticket because this is how much money you plan on spending, and this is how much money you earn. So your $7 you would have budgeted for entertainment, and you know it's only going to cost $7.50, so that would leave a little bit in our savings, right? So moving on here, just going over, this is some of the things that we talked about. So we really need to make sure that we know how much money we have coming in, and we know how much expenses. And expenses is how much money we spend, right? That's how much money that we know we're going to spend for either a need or a want. And you can't ever spend more money than you bring in, right? So what are some other examples that you guys can think of how you can earn income? Back here. Raking leaves, absolutely. Back here. Babysitting's a great one. Gardening, pulling weeds and stuff. Right, right. In the back? Walking dogs, yes, absolutely. Cleaning your room, yes, that's an important one, huh? So those are all great ways to earn money, right? And I have a lot of yard work at my house. Does anyone want to come over and earn money? Really? Everybody's coming? I was just kidding. I actually did it all yesterday. I should have come here yesterday. All right, so who would like to read the bullet point we have up here? Who hasn't gone? How about in the back there? What's your name, buddy?
Jonathan.
Jonathan?
Yes.
Nice to meet you, bud.
Making trade-offs is about choosing not to buy one thing in order to buy another. Making trade-offs isn't always easy.
Right, so trade-offs is that difference between what you need and what you want, and making that choice for doing the right thing to ensure. So we're going to wrap it up here in a second. So we talked about the differences between needs and wants, right? We also talked about what we spend our money on and how to save our dollars, and how important it is to save for those things that you really, really want. And always thinking twice before buying. Ask yourself, is it really something you need, or is it something that you want to have? And if you want, that's okay. We all want stuff, but we have to do a good job of saving our money and making sure that we always do the needs first. So that kind of wraps it up. So you guys are on your way. That was Budgeting 101. So thank you very much for your time today. And you guys have a fantastic and wonderful weekend. Does that sound good? Yes. All right. Thank you, you guys.